Hey guys, Jimmy at Lure Build. While since I did a video, wanted to try to get one in today. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm getting pretty snug in here. Getting ready to move sometime soon once the new facility is ready. But as of right now, you guys have seen I've been adding a lot of new lures, and that kind of comes with the price. I didn't really have room for all these, so I got a lot of stuff stacked up. Leaving some stuff in some boxes as I'm filling orders, but we're getting ready. We're getting ready for the move, so I don't want to take stuff out of boxes quite yet. Make it a little bit easier on myself. Do some painting today. Brushes have sat for a little while. I'm just running some reducer and airbrush cleaner through them. See if we can get them spraying nice and clear. I cleaned them last time. I also left liquid in them, but I leave them set. I leave these brushes set. They definitely clog. All right, we got the Soltar spraying. Seems to be okay. Soltar spraying good. Let's check the Carter steam back. I need to organize, but you know what? As soon as I get everything moved here, I'm going to have a leave my paint booth here, and we're building a new paint booth. It's going to be solid aluminum. It's going to be able to take the 16 by 20 air filters. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be about a quad den, about 4 dens. I compare it to like a CD player for a car, but it's going to be four of the airbrush stations, so like double the size of this. This is a double. It's got 2 of the small airbrush stations. Where I had a little bit of green. There's still a little bit of green in that. This ProFlow works really good for an airbrush cleaner / reducer. Yeah, these are spraying good. There's the new Reaper. I'm calling it the Grim Reaper. It's the big one. We've had the little one for quite a while. I'm gonna play around with some new colors. I commandeered myself a flip mode. It's a really nice chameleon. Let's get this in a white. I'm just going to put down a light coat of the Wicked Opaque. So I got a good base coverage. I don't want to forget though, before I do that, my auto-borne sealer, which is my ritual. Let's throw down some auto-borne sealer here. I've already cleaned the lure. Did an alcohol wipe down. I don't want to forget this back hook hanger area. Or the front under the mouth. Alright, I put a thin layer of auto-borne sealer down. This is a glide, but I have fished it. It has a nice wobble to it while it glides. I have fished the smaller version. And I've caught some nice bass on them too. This is the bigger version. Yeah, I don't know what you guys could expect. It's been a little while since I haven't been painting much, so don't expect too much out of me. I'm going to get some more white. That didn't go very far. I don't need much on top. I'm going to be throwing some black down. I'm going to play around with this flip mode shade shift. Need more on the underbelly. It's a little chilly out, so I got the garage door closed. Now I'm going to get into some bone. We're going to throw some bone over top of that. I just wanted a nice bright white base so my colors are true. I'm going to use the Tim Gore bone white. I have another bone white here, I believe. I'll use that. I'll use our own. Got the lower build bone weight. Keep forgetting I got that bottle over there. Just rubbing that area. I saw a little fiber, probably from the paper towel I wiped it down with. I'm going to get a little bit more of the bone weight here. Bring that up in the eye socket too. Pretty much looks like the original color of the lure, where it's like an off-white, but I know I'm sealed up good. Let's dry that up. Picked up a little hair. See if I can brush that off. There's a little hair here and a little hair down here. There we go. So I left the top for the most part white, the bottom half, I don't even think I have any bone dust right now. I'm all out. I don't even think I have any for myself. Let's put down some black. Let's make sure that brush is spraying well. Looks like I need to mix up some black, seeing I'm low. There's a couple drops in there. I allowed for a little bit of overspray, but not a ton. We're going to hit the eyes. All right, now that that black is used up, I wanted to switch to detail smoke. We're going to come down a little ways. And this is going to be for mainly for scales. We want a dark background for the scales we're going to put on. But we're not going to spray directly over the black. We're going to make that chameleon in the background first. So I got some detail smoke. It's going to look fairly black. Just not quite not pitch black. Pick up a little bit more detail smoke. Two more drops. Start blending that black with that detail smoke. Looks pretty even to me. Put that brush away. Let's dry this up. Alright, now we're going to do some of that chameleon, and we are going to throw scales on top of that. So let's pull out that flip mode. Got it right here. Like I said, I had to commandeer myself one. Anytime you guys get these in the mail, I mean, they get shaken up a little bit in the mail, but not like with a mixer. You want to mix them well. That way you can get an even amount of that chameleon. You'll even start to kind of see it through the bottle a little bit, the chameleon. Alright, last thing I sprayed through my .2 was the white. The bone white. So I need to make sure that's flushed out well. Seems to be good. If you guys were curious what that flip mode looks like in action, you're going to find out now. Very highly pigmented with chameleon. So here we go. As you can see, didn't take a whole lot. It's going to be a lot of people's favorite color. We're going to get that all up in the white too. So you're going to see the biggest drastic change on top of that black and that gray. I don't know what else what more you could want out of chameleon. That's probably, other than the Joker shift, up there in the top two for the chameleons. All right, we're gonna rinse that out of the brush pretty good. Yeah, that's nothing special. That's just one of the bottles. It's not a special bottle for me. I just grabbed one out of the bunch. So there's only 13 left now. I think we found a really solid chameleon here. Okay, let me let that cool down for a second, because before we start laying any stencils flat up against it, you don't want it to be gummy at all. But yeah, there you have it, guys. That's the flip mode. It's true to the color, as you can see on the bottle. Probably can't see real well, but up against the white, I don't know if you can see the pearl in there, but it definitely has a lot of pearl now in the white. So different effect between light and dark. It's going to change. You're going to get your biggest effect over black. As you get further away from black and you get to lighter colors, like there's the detail smoke, you get into white, you'll start to get more of a pearl than you will chameleon. But really good looking color. Nice and dry. Nice and dry. See no marks. So we got to get some scales on this. I'm thinking I'll throw down some white scales, and then we'll blend some color in on top of them, like some silver, a little bit of silver. I can go with Quicksilver, but it's very runny. Very runny. You don't want to move that stencil at all. Not at all. I could go bigger scales in this, but I don't really know. I don't really know where they're at the time. I got smaller right here. I got some bigger ones too somewhere. Burn the pain. It's not too painful yet, but it's got chameleon over it right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Vern. Oh no, that design, that's in it. That's symmetrical. See it here on the other side? That's part of the mold, if that's what you're talking about. I really like that. I want to put a little bit of maybe detail moss green over it. Yeah, the texture behind the eye, that's part of the mold. Could take a little brush, could take a little real little paintbrush or toothpick, and put some red over top of that. That would be really cool looking. Give it a little vein. All right, let's try to put some white down here. I'm just gonna pull out the opaque white. You got to be really gentle with the white at this point, especially with overspray. I'm going to try not to get overspray over here on the chameleon. So I got to hold it pretty still, or I can wrap it. I'm just going to try to hold it pretty still. Try not to overspray this at all. I just kind of went light on it. I didn't try to go too heavy. Oh, this is just some old scale template that I had made. I got some on the website. I'm going to be resizing some stuff to make some bigger and smaller. There's been a request for the mini spec to see if I can make it even more mini. Chartreuse pink silver. Oh, it's not metal screen. No, it's like a cardboard plastic material. If screen was to bump up against that bait, it would scratch it at this point. I don't want to take away from the chameleon in the background. I don't really want to take away from that much. So, might be a good opportunity to lightly spray some candy. Or some transparent, something really reduced. I'm going to reduce some stuff down here. I don't want to do silver because silver will really coat that chameleon. So it needs to be a transparent or candy at this point. Got some candy here. Here's poison green. Told you I wanted to put a little green on that gill plate. And you're going to have to be careful. This is when you start mixing. You start mixing candy with opaque paint. You're asking for runs. Just light and dry, be patient. Yeah, I make all my stencils in a laser. Okay, we got a little green. And bring that up under the eye a little. Little bit of candy and dry. A little bit more and dry. So keep you from getting runs. And my candies are very, my mixture is very runny because I do a lot of transparent. Bringing that back, the head, and I'm out. So that's good for my green. And if you can, I'm not moving very fast, but dry it as fast as you can so it doesn't run. All right, so that was some candy green. I heard somebody say pink. I don't have a candy pink. I have a transparent flamingo, and I have this pink. I think this is the one you made up, Austin. I think this is the one we were mixing. I'm gonna try. I don't think that's chromatic flash. It looks pink to me, like a bubble gum. I'm gonna do a test shot. I don't think I've even opened it yet. I gotta test this on a paper towel here. It's definitely got a lot of flash in it. Definitely does. So I want to tone it down. A couple drops of ProFlow. I think I just did 3 drops. Not spraying real good out of the 0.15, but then that also has flake in it. So I don't usually try to put flake through this. Alright, I think that'll work for pink. I think I got it diluted enough, but it is a bit tricky with the brush. You're going to have to press down the needle a good bit to get it out of this 0.15. It's what's scary for me. Here we go. Let's give her a shot. It came out a little fast, but that's all right. I'll match that up. Got a little pink. It comes out a little fast. I wish I had a candy pink, but I don't know if I'm making one, to be honest. That the airbrush I'm trying to use right now is 0.15, so it's too small for flake. I didn't really know that had flake in it until I started to spray it. Right now I'm just hosing it out, trying to get it all out. I don't put anything but candy, usually just candy 2.0, transparent, and opaques. I don't put anything with any kind of flake in it through this brush most of the time. For that reason, because it's unpredictable how it's going to spray. So we got some pink in there. There's a little, it seems like a little yellow under there where that pink meets. I think it's good for colors. It needs some texture now. I'm going to pull some detail smoke. It appears to be dry. And I'm going to hit over top of the pink with this detail smoke. Kind of blend that pink a little bit better. You guys see what I mean with the the vein texture. Because it was coming out faster than I wanted it to. Let's see if I can get in here and do some add to this little bit of vein work here. I'm going to hit these gills at an angle. And we'll do like a little kill dot on it somewhere. I could use this. It's not, they're not perfectly round. There's some dots on this too. That one's not perfectly round at all. That works for me. Let me smoke out the eye a little. We got to find some killer eyes for this. And I think a 10 millimeter glass. These are 11 millimeter eye sockets, which means a 10 millimeter glass. If you're familiar with 10 millimeter, they're, I'm sorry, if you're familiar with glass, they are always slightly bigger, just slightly. So it'll probably fit more like a 10.5, which will pretty much fulfill that eye socket. Give me a custom look. Let's dry it up. Oh, I see a little issue with my detail smoke here. It had some air pockets, little air bubbles that popped on me. Must have been a little runny or something. So bear with me a second. I'll get a little bit more detail smoke, just a drop. I want to fix that. I don't like the texture of that. There's bubbles in there. Much better. I'm adding some shadow to this top lip, letting the paint kind of catch that top lip. Catch that. There we go. Alright, I'm done with that 0.15 airbrush, that needle. So, let me clean it out. I'll put some Pro Flow in there, leave her sit. So it should be good for next time. Alright, I gotta find some cool 10 millimeter eyes. I may have some. There's some 12s. That doesn't necessarily look like it won't work. That should be too big, but maybe I'm wrong. It's supposed to be 11 millimeter. I don't want to handle it a lot, so let me just set her on top. Yeah, 12 millimeters, just a little big. So 10s. and 11s is about what I'm looking for. Ooh, what are these? These look like 12s too. Ooh, that would, they might be 10s. That's some of the powder puff eyes. Oh man, there's every eye I put up looks better. These are the void eyes. Yeah, we're going with that. Oh, the veins. Shit, I forgot. Oh. What we got here? I ain't got anything finer than that. Most of these brushes look like they're too big. Best red I got to recommend you guys for blood, if I can find the bottle. I don't see the one I'm looking for. I can use this. Use a detail carmine. But I have a Bloody Mary from Chroma Air that I really like. This has not been mixed for a while. Can't find a piece of tape to save my life. It's alright, I'll use the back of this little piece of plastic. I'm just gonna pick it up on a toothpick. I'm gonna pull this in from off the camera, guys, just so I can see. Here, I think we got all the veins in there for the most part. And repeat. Yeah, sometimes toothpick's gonna work better than a brush, especially if I don't have one with much detail. I got some small brushes, but this is like too small for that. Some of these veins on this side come down further than the other, which I like that. It's more natural. Not everything is symmetrical. You can even throw a little bit. Getting crazy now. Let's throw a little bit down in here. There is a little bit more over here I missed with veins. All right, we gotta dry that. Oh, sorry. I'm just now replying to you, Wes. The smoke, I use this mesh. We sell the mesh. We sell whole rolls, and we sell it in our sample pack. It's a fabric that's really no other way to put it, but like a mossy mesh, like a mossy look. Very popular. A lot of guys use it. I think I'm the only place, one of the only places, lure places that sell. I sell a 10-yard roll. It comes in 6 inches by 10 yards. Or you can just get the sample pack, which is like five or six different kinds of fabric. There's some with netting, some with mesh, different types of tulle. Right, like right here's a scale pattern one. I didn't have it in my site at the moment. You can kind of see it. I got that on one of them big ass rings. All right, I think that blood is dry. Now we're going to go to UVLS. I do it every lure, just like I do the Autoborn Sealer. Every lure gets UVLS. It's a big lure. I'm put like 15 drops in the brush. The fabric is something like $9.95 for 10 yards, or if you get the sample pack, you'll get like 10 inches of it with like 5 or 6 other designs for like $7.99, $6.99, something like that. So a lot of people just buy the sample pack if there's something in there you like. I only sell like 2 of them though. Autoborn Sealer, gonna need more net. Now the airbrush I'm using now, this is a 0.2 needle. So the biggest needle I use is 0.2, 0.15, 0.2. I don't see a use for me with lures. I don't need a 0.4, I don't need a 0.5. I don't even need a 0.3. 0.3s work fine, 0.35 works fine, but 0.4 is getting a bit big for what we do. If I was doing maybe like a motorcycle, yeah, 0.4, 0.5 is good for painting like a motorcycle if you're doing airbrushing, but we're not really doing stuff that's very big. Most of the lures are not very big. Okay, glue. That's all I use for gluing in eyes. The gel. It doesn't go everywhere. I think Steve Greathouse just gave me a shout out about this because he was like, how do you glue in your eyes? Because the super glue goes everywhere. And I was like, get the gel. Gel, you got a lot more. It seems like you have a lot more control over where it goes. It doesn't run all over the place. You just need enough to get the eye to stick too. You don't need to put a big glob that's going to squish out when you press the eye in. See how those, from that angle of light, you see what I did with those gills, like why they pop and they have that shadow since I painted that. I threw that detail smoke in there at an angle, at a top angle. Like that. And you get this nice shadow. So, kind of dark from there. But then you get all the light and the detail from that angle. Just sometimes when you spray a certain direction, you can get, with a texture and a lure, you can pick up the shadows where you want, keep the light where you want. I am going to spray it with KBS, but that isn't my final coat. That's only protected until I get it to epoxy. You can use this. You could use an automotive clear coat or a 2K, but I always epoxy my lures for the strongest finish, and this is just enough that when it dries I can put it in a plastic tub with a bunch of other lures, and then I can epoxy them all at the same time. You don't want to breathe this in, so open your garage, go outside. There it is. I'd say for most of them I paint, this one is just about perfect. Just about perfection. It's pretty symmetrical between both sides. Not enough where it doesn't look unnatural. There's that flip mode. Chameleon. Got a little pink in there, just enough. Catches the light. You got a pretty nice shad effect. And you can see there the way the lights hit it, the scales reflect a little better. I just used the lure coat. That's our own. You can't find it anywhere else. We had it formulated for lures, for outdoor use. You don't need a UV light, but heads up, I know Austin knows this already, that there is a UV lure coat coming. We'll have that available in a few months. Got to do some testing with it, but it will cure under a UV light. Probably within 10 minutes you'll be able to cure your lures. But right now I just use lure coat. You get about 45-55 minute working time. Takes about 24 hours until it's dry to touch. 36 hours before you can fish it. 36 hours for a full cure. But this is just a temporary clear coat with the KBS for now. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Maybe I'll come back and paint something. I was wanting to do one of these newer crawls that I got. It's a weight crawl. And I think that would be a good candidate for flip mode. We're going to try putting down auto-borne sealer and then going directly into a shade shift, keeping it transparent. So it kind of gives it a holographic effect. So we'll play around with that. KBS, I don't like it. I think most of us started out with KBS, and we can tell you that it usually goes bad within 3 to 4 months. Even if you keep it in a mason jar wrapped in plastic, it still goes bad on you. You end up wasting a lot. When I would hang mine after dipping, I'd still get runs. Sometimes I'd get like a chemical reaction effect. Worst thing for me though, it's not hard. KBS, that never gets rock hard. It's more, if you read the fine print on it, KBS diamond coat is more like an undercoating for a truck. I've had it, and I've had it let it sit in the sun, cure for a month. You can still scratch it off with your thumbnail. You're not really going to do that too easy with epoxy. So I got away from KBS. I got away from it so much we don't even sell it anymore. We used to sell it. Just epoxy looks professional. It'll hold up. You don't have to worry about as many chemical reactions, and there's zero waste. The only thing you waste is what cures when you got it mixed up. So I'll wait for that to stop running. That's my compressor. It's not that loud of a compressor, but something's vibrating against it. With epoxy, you can use it to the last drop. If it's sitting on a shelf for 2 years and it looks cloudy, you just heat up some water, stick it in hot water. It'll reset it for like the next 6 to 12 months. The only thing you're going to lose is what you've already mixed up. So if you mix up too much, that's going to be a loss. But it has pretty much an infinity shelf life. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back in a little bit. We'll do another one. My epoxy, I'd start off with the smallest. You can do about 1,500 lures. It's $36.50 for a pint, $36.50. You get the hardener in an 8-ounce bottle. You get the epoxy in an 8-ounce bottle, so it makes 16 ounces, makes a pint. All right, see you guys later.